What is up, guys? Welcome to Garage 23. And I know content's been a little slow, and that's because we got yet another addition to the fleet. It's not the S14. I know what you're thinking.
This is an audience intervention. You don't need another project car.
But it's not a car. It's our new 2004 HAAS VF2. So let's go check it out. All right, so this is our 2004 HAAS VF2. And I guess you might be asking, why do you have an entire full-size CNC mill in your garage? Well, funny story. So as some of you guys may know, our whole actual business besides the YouTube is making suspension parts for Armadas. And our whole business consists of the rear upper control arms that correct the alignment after a suspension lift. But that's like, in off-roading vehicles, you typically have two kinds of lifts. You have a body lift and a suspension lift. And most people don't really want to do a suspension lift on Armadas because of that issue with the alignment. We decided we needed to offer an alternative if people don't want that added suspension travel and they just want the height. So the Armada isn't like, it's a body on frame vehicle, but also has a rear subframe. So basically, to lift the rear without affecting the suspension geometry, you need subframe spacers, which is what they would conventionally be called in like most other cars. We decided to develop just that. And we made these up, and these essentially go between your subframe and the chassis of your Armada and gives you a 3-inch lift. There's other parts involved. There's like because there's 2 bolts on the back and then 1 bolt on the front, so there's another little spacer, and then the bolts were a huge pain to find because there's only one supplier that makes bolts long enough for this. But also these, because they have so many holes in them, and then we had to add our logo, they're pretty expensive to produce. I think the retail ended up over $300, and I was like, well, I guess that's fine. The only other kit available is I think PRG, which theirs is a 2-inch lift for $300. So I was like, okay, if it's a little more, then it's fine because it's a 3-inch. Nobody really makes a 3-inch. But then what happened was this other big, huge company decided to release the same thing literally a week after we released ours. And we were like dead in the water. And theirs was a more complete kit and for like way less than even the 2-inch kits that were on the market. So we're like, well, we can't compete with that. And then I was thinking, we can compete with that, and we're gonna compete with that, and we're gonna take them down because this is our market and Z1 has enough crap to do. So we decided to just go all in, buy our own CNC mill so we could do it ourselves and start designing our own CNC billet machined subframe spacers, or 3-inch lifts for Armadas. So yeah, that has been what I've been doing pretty much since the last video till now, is figuring out how to get this thing to do stuff without wrecking it, because that's like the #1 thing that can go wrong, is having your like heights and feeds and stuff wrong and just crashing stuff into other stuff. So it's been a hell of a process, but we're getting there, we're making stuff. So these should be available probably by the time this video is up. We have a few already made and we've shipped a few out already. In addition to that, there's also brake lines, which the other company is including in their kit. So then we were also forced to go out and figure out how to provide brake lines for everybody, which is why we got this other addition to the shop. So yeah, we got our own hydraulic crimping machine specifically for brake lines. We can get rolls of steel braided line with the nylon coating. You can get this in pretty much any color. We're opting for red because G23. And we have a little bit of black. And as far as the fittings go, I'm specializing in Nissan stuff, obviously, for obvious reasons. So all the fittings I'm getting are Nissan specific. So they'll bolt right up like OEM. And we can make pretty much any line to any length you need. So for the Armadas, that entails having the 3 inches of the lift built into the brake line so it doesn't bind at all. Because the stock lines, they're a little short, and when you install the lift on the rear, they could have a little too much tension at full droop. So that's why we're providing these. And this also opens the market for pretty much any JDM vehicle. All the brake fittings are pretty similar. If we don't have it, we can we can just order it. So whatever you have, we can make a brake line for you. We're not stocking standard fittings at the moment, so no American stuff for now. Pretty much, you know, Honda, Nissan, Toyota, Subaru, Mitsubishi should have all that covered. It's all pretty much M10x1 thread, so it should all be pretty similar. Another thing this opens up for us is being able to do like brake caliper conversions similar to what we did on our 350Z. We have Panamera Brembo calipers and rotors on our 350Z, which you'd need a Japanese style hose end on the beginning of the brake line, and then you'd need a European style fitting on the end of the brake line. So that's the kind of things we'd be able to do now. So whatever caliper you want to try and put on your car, we'll be able to help you with that. We're also going to be providing, in the future anyway, is the kit that we made for our 350Z. We're going to develop the programming for that and be able to make that another product line, as well as for the Skyline and 240. So we'll have different options for brakes, like these ones that we've been sitting on for a while. These are AMG brakes, which these are going to be going probably on the Skyline, I think. So we're going to be making brackets for this, as well as the more popular CTSV calipers for the S14. So these guys, and we're going to be doing the rear, which nobody's done these before, so I'm excited to try and figure that out. Yeah, another bonus, shelf space. Should not be using it for this. Do not do this. All right, so that's a quick summary of what we've been doing in the meantime. Our business has been growing a little quicker than we can keep up with, and that's thanks to you guys providing all the support on the Armada side, and hopefully soon on the R chassis and S chassis side and Z chassis. Let's go ahead and try to make something. We're gonna turn on the machine and make another. I still got a couple of blanks here to make more lifts, so let's get started trying to do that. All right, so we're gonna start the three-step process of turning this thing on. But before we do, let us know in the comments if you guys would be interested in like deep dive on like how we even got this in a residential garage and how to run it and like G-code basics, stuff like that. Like by no means do I have a full understanding of the whole process, but we're definitely getting by. So if you guys are interested in seeing that aspect of the business, let us know in the comments. Let's turn it on, which is go back there, turn the phase converter on, then go over here and turn the machine breaker on, and then you push the button to turn it on. Sounds scary. It's just doing a quick home cycle. Then you get your favorite Pokemon card. And get this as close as you can without breaking anything. So right about there is our tool height. So now we load up all the programs that we just made. This is one of the biggest pains in the ass with these things, is I didn't know they didn't run on Windows. They run on DOS, I think. So archaic technology by our standards today, but works, I guess. All right, so like 30 minutes later, we have a finished part. And we only messed up like 3 times. But still looks pretty damn good. with the logo and everything. All right, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. And remember to check out our buddy Nick at High Road Suspension. Our lift kits are also available through him as a full, like, comprehensive kit. They're also gonna be available on our website, obviously. Hopefully by the time this episode goes up, they'll be on garage23.net. So thank you guys, and remember, always do your best.